Hey guys, it's Josh, the Dungeon Monster here. Today I'm going to roll up my first ever D&D 2024 character. Me and a buddy's going to Mythic Con Charlotte here soon, and I'm going to start rolling up a couple characters. Now, I have not rolled up a character with this rule set, like I said, D&D 2024. So this is going to be a first for me. To be honest, I haven't even read all the game yet. I've barely read a little bit of this game. So we did play some D&D 2014. Even though I have all this D&D stuff, I've been buying books since 3rd edition, I'm still really new to the hobby. I live in a small town. I've been interested in the hobby for years. You got to think, back when 3rd edition started, at least where I'm from, I didn't know anything about internet games, if they even existed. I know virtual tabletop, the only option that I knew of was Fantasy Ground. So I'm still really new to all this. I'm no expert by any means. I've played in a few games, but I just really like the hobby. So that doesn't mean I'm an expert at it, and I don't want to portray that I am. I'm still very new to all this. I would consider myself even a beginner, even though I've owned books, and I've bought books, and I've bought dice, and I've bought everything throughout all these years. It's just hard to find a game locally. So now, that I'm an adult and I have my own kids, I can run some games here at home. I can go to conventions. I can take myself to a local game store. So I can do stuff like that now, whereas I never could before, and I never really did in my adult life. But that's something I'm really getting into and beginning to get into. So bear with me. If I make mistakes, I would love for you to tell me. Again, I don't want to portray myself to be a ttrpg expert or anything. I just like cool stuff. I'm just a nerd. I just like cool stuff. So yeah, let's get started. I'm going to try to capture this process. I do have, let me flip here and show you what I got going. All right, so obviously I have the 2024 Player's Handbook. Got some character sheets here that I printed off today at work. I've got a pen and a pencil, and I've got a bunch of dice, which I know I really only need D6s, but yeah, I just brought a bunch of dice down to this little building that I'm filming in. So yeah, I'm going to try to set the camera up where we could all see this and do one step at a time, and let's get these characters rolled, or this character rolled. This is probably one of a few that I will be doing this way as Mythic Con Charlotte comes closer, and I need to roll up some characters for the games. So here we go. Let's dive into this together, guys, and roll up a D&D 2024 character. All right, guys, so I have the 2024 Player's Handbook open to page 33, Chapter 2, Creating Your Character. We're going to try to do this in step-by-step order. I'm not going to get super detailed. I'm going to kind of jump clip to each thing. So basically, it says you can get everything ready, what you're going to need. Talk with your DM first. That way, you're creating a character that's going to fit into their imagined world, their setting, and what they have in mind. So that's the first step. They said to choose a character sheet. I've printed these out, these character sheets here. It does go on to talk about a session 0, guys, and what that is your DM may want to get together and talk about the campaign and everything before everybody decides on species, class, backstories, things of that nature. That way everybody's on the same page going forward. And then we have the steps to create your character. So we'll go through these. There are 5 steps. You got choose a class. That's going to be like your barbarian, your rogue, your ranger, your fighter, etc. Determine your origin. This works a little different than 2014 5th edition from what I've seen online. Again, I've not read this entire book. We're going to figure all this out together, or go through it together, I should say. After that, we're going to determine ability scores. Then we're going to choose an alignment, and then we're going to fill in the rest of the details. So step 1, again, choose a class. Here's a brief overview of the classes. I'm going to be playing a barbarian. Here's kind of like the overview. They like battle. Their primary ability score is strength, and the complexity of play, how difficult are they to play, this Player's Handbook considers them average. So I'm going to go with a barbarian. So I'm going to go ahead and get my pen here and record that on my character sheet under class. So class, we'll go barbarian, okay. All right, so we had chose the barbarian. We go on here. It's a step 1, obviously, like we talked about. Choose a class, record it on your character sheet. Got the summary of classes here. And then there's a copy of a character sheet where you can make copies. Anyway, write your character's level on your character sheet. Typically, we start at level 1. and then write your experience. Typically, we start at 0. For the one game that I'm rolling this character for, we do start at level 1. It's a level 1 one-shot at the con, so we have 0 experience, level 1. Also, and it says to note your armor training. Your class might give you training with certain categories of armor. So what we're going to do, we're going to flip over to the Barbarian class and see what type of armor that we get, if any, proficiencies with, and note those. So let's get over to that section and see what we got going on. All right, so we flipped over to page 50, 51, Barbarian. And again, it asks us to note our armor training. Armor training for Barbarian says light and medium armor and shields. So as you can see here, it's just kind of like the old character sheet. You fill these in: light, medium, and shields, or proficiencies, or armor training. So it said to do that, and then it says, okay, hold that thought. Step 2, determine your origin. So we're going to flip to the origins, read about this, and pick an origin. And then I'm sure that'll give us some things to fill in on our character sheet. Let's look at the origins, pick one, and go from there. Next step, origins. All right, as I read this closer, it says, determining your character's origin involves choosing a background, a species, and 2 languages. So first is choose your background. Choose your background and write it on your character sheet. You can choose from any of the backgrounds detailed in Chapter 4, and your DM might also offer additional ones. So let's go to Chapter 4, look at the backgrounds. We'll choose that first. We'll choose our background first for this Barbarian. All right, so whatever background you choose, it looks like it is, each background includes a brief narrative. What they do, it increases one of your ability scores by 2 and another by 1, or 3 ability scores by 1, as long as none of them raise above 20. So I've decided to do, let's see, I decided to just stick with the farmer. The ability scores here that I get increase on, that I can increase: strength, constitution, and wisdom. Let me think about this a little bit, and I will go ahead and let you know what I did, and we'll record it on the character sheet. All right, so I've recorded everything that the farmer gave me. It looks like the farmer gave me skill proficiencies in animal handling and nature. So I've colored the nature in here. I've covered the animal handling in here. It did give me a +2 to one ability, a +1 to the other. I could have chosen between strength, constitution, and wisdom. I've just noted here, I'll erase that later. I chose +2 in strength and +1 in constitution, so that comes with the background there. It did give me some equipment. Oh yeah, it gave me carpenter's tools. I'm proficient with carpenter's tools. And I could have chose between, let's see, a sickle, a carpenter's tools, healer's kit, iron pot, shovel, traveler's clothes, and 30 gold pieces, or just 50 gold pieces to do the equipment buy. So what I've did, I forgot to put the 30 GP down. I've chose the 30 gold pieces, and then the sickle, carpenter's tools, healer's kit, iron pot, shovel, and traveler's clothes. Now what I did also do is I put a P here just so I would remember, even though if I'm not looking at this, that I was proficient with the carpenter's tools. So far, that is what the background has given me. Barbarian, background farmer. Let's flip back and see the next step, and we'll go on. I also get to choose a feat from the tough section in Chapter 5, which was new to me. That's just odd that we get a feat here right out of the gate. So let me get to the feats. From the tough section, I guess, see what that is, and see kind of what I'm going to choose, and then I'll fill it in and let you guys know. All right, again, so I'm new to this, guys. This 2024 Player's Handbook 2, I barely flipped through. I don't know where everything's at. So when I said from the tough section, what it meant is, I guess it recommended tough. And what that is the hit point maximum increases by an amount of equal to twice your character's level when you gain this feat. Whenever you gain a character level thereafter, your hit point maximum increases by an additional 2 hit points. So I've wrote my level 1, so twice to be +2. I've went ahead and just wrote +2 there. I will erase that. Once I get my maximum, I'll add +2 and then erase that. So I've chosen everything for my background. Let's flip back and see the next step. All right, so it says record your feat, which we've done. And then it says note proficiencies. Your background gives your proficiencies. We went through that. It says your class also gives proficiencies. So check your class description in Chapter 3 and note those on your character sheet. Also, it goes on to say your proficiency bonus at level 1 is a +2. So what we've done, I've pulled up the Barbarian book here, or the page. It says primary ability strength. We know that. Hit die is 1d12 per Barbarian. We'll get into that later. Saving throw proficiencies were strength and constitution. So under saving throws for strength, I've colored that in. I've colored in the saving throws for constitution. So we're good there. Let's see what else we had. Skill proficiencies, I could have chosen two between animal handling, athletics, intimidation, nature, perception, and survival. So I've chosen survival, and I got nature and intimidation because I had nature from the background. So I chose those. And then the starting equipment, I could have either chose between a great axe, 4 hand axes, an explorer's pack, and 15 gold pieces, or just 75 to do the equipment point buy there for the class. So I've chose the great axe, 4 hand axes, explorer pack, and 15 gold pieces. I already had 30 from the background, so that made a total of 45. So then we're there. Let's see what it wants us to do next. So next, it just wanted us to do starting equipment. I've already kind of done that. I've wrote everything down. I did not elect to buy the equipment myself with the gold pieces offered as a secondary option. Just for simplicity, obviously I just went with the easy options to write everything down. And then a minor amount of gold pieces as opposed to getting more gold pieces and then choosing individually what we wanted to start. Next step is choose a species. This replaced race from my understanding. Used to, you could be a half-orc, barbarian, a human, barbarian, whatever your race may be. This is a little different. It looks like they've put all your skill bonuses and everything on more of your origins and your race, aka now species, kind of doesn't matter quite as much. So let's choose the species that we're going to do for this barbarian. It may do something wonky. I don't know yet. Let me look and then I'll let you guys know and we'll go from there. All right, so I've chosen to be a dwarf as far as the species go. That gives me dark vision for 120 feet. Dwarven resilience. It's basically an advantage on saves against poison or to end a poison effect. Dwarven toughness, so hit points increase by a maximum of 1 and again by 1 whenever you gain a level. So this was a plus 2. If you remember, I've made it a plus 3 and then plus 1 per level. Also like to put page numbers on here because if I want to review these anytime during the game, I know to flip to page 188. And Tremor Sense, let's see, it's actually called Stone Cunning. As a bonus action, you gain Tremor Sense with a range of 60 feet for 10 minutes. You must be on stone surface or touching a stone surface to use Tremor Sense. The stone can be natural or worked, and you can use this bonus action a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, so 2 right now until a long rest. So 2 every long rest, I could use Tremor Sense. I've chosen dwarf. I've noted everything on the character sheet so far. All right, let's move on. So the next step, they kind of just want you to imagine your past and present. They do ask some questions here to kind of get your brain moving and trying to get your creativity flowing. Questions like who raised you? Who's your dearest childhood friend? Did you grow up with a pet? Have you fallen in love? If so, with whom? We're going to save all the flavor and background off camera. This is probably going to be long already. So we're going to save all that till, a little bit later. That way I can just kind of sit down and do all that and not have to bore everybody. Because I'm already being really slow. Again, it's my first time doing this with this book. I don't know this book as well as I do the 2014 book. I want to make sure I catch all the changes, little things like that. So next is choose languages. Your character knows at least 3 languages. Common plus 2 languages. You can roll or just choose. I'm going to go common, of course. And let's see, where is it on this particular one? Languages. All right, right here. So we're going to go common. And then 2 other. Let's do gnomish. So common, gnomish. Common, gnomish. And then we'll do giant. I think that's interesting. Common, gnomish, and giant. So we've chosen our languages. Let's kind of read this. Pause, read, make sure I did everything I need to do on there, and move forward. All right, what I've been waiting for. I don't know about you guys. I was going to say what we've all been waiting for. You guys are probably just waiting on the video to end. No, honestly, what we've been waiting for, what I've been waiting for, is to roll some dice, man. There's several different ways to do this. You can do a standard array and choose from these. You can do random generation, which is roll 4d6. That's what I love to do. You can do a point cost, like a 27-point buy-in. Let's roll some dice. So I think this is the same way you roll it 6 times. Yeah, it's the same way as before. Let me get a little piece of paper here. That way we can record our... So you roll 4d6s, add 3 of them together, drop the lowest, and record that total. Let's go. All right, 6, 10, 13 on the first one. We do this 6 times. There's 1. Ooh, wow. 17. That's awesome. All right. Ooh, 10. 3 times. 3 more times, guys. 10. 2 more times. Man, we started hot and we've kind of went downhill. 10. Actually, 13. I'm sorry. We dropped the 1. 2, 3, 4, 5. One more time. We do this one more time. 14. Not too bad. So we ended up with 13, 17, 10, 10, 13, 14. Let's look at everything. We'll decide where we're going to put each of them and record them on our character sheet. All right, so I went, if you guys remember, I had a +2 on the strength here. So we can erase that now. I put the 17 in strength, added the +2 for a total of 19. We had a +1 on constitution as well. So I put the 14 in there, added my +1 for a total of 15. So I ended up with a 19 strength, 13 dexterity, a 15 constitution, 13 charisma, 10 wisdom, 10 intelligence. That's it so far. Let's figure out, I assume the next step is to figure out the modifiers that go along with them. Let's do that and we'll fill those in. It's on a chart, obviously. Like if you've got a 3, it's a -4, or anywhere 4 to 5, -3, all the way up to a 20, which is +5, 18, 19, +4. For example, so that's a 19. We're going to get a +4 modifier to strength, +4. So I'm going to fill these in and not bore you guys with all of that, just really quick. Let me fill these in. All right, so next, the Player's Handbook wants you to describe the appearance and personality. As far, as far as the backstory and personality, I'll flesh all that out on my own time. But you would just put everything here. He comes from a noble family, or he comes from streets, homeless, lost his family, whatever you want to do. That's all your preference. As far as the appearance, stubby with a red beard with no braids, tattered brown commoner clothes, worn boots, a big smile, and a large belly. So that gets him started. He's a dwarf. He loves to drink the ale. So yeah, we'll go from there. Next one, choose the alignment. I'm going to take, let's see. True neutral is a cop-out. Don't want to be evil. Don't want to be chaotic good for sure. Let's go neutral again. It leaves, especially for a convention. This is a character for a convention. It kind of just leaves open. You can kind of be in that gray area, I guess, Yeah, neutral. So there's that. Let's see what is next. All right, so I'm going to play along with this. This is not necessary, but it does say your alignment can shape the character's personality. It's a D4. Let me grab a D4 really quick. It's a D4. Man, all these dice, I'm going to see a D4. So it's a D4 to kind of figure out a little bit of your character's personality. I think they want you to get 2, looking at 2 elements of an alignment. Yeah, let's go. So got a 2. So he's disinterested. That's kind of fun. We'll put that in personality, disinterested. Yeah, that could be fun to role play. And let's see, a 1, that is selfish. Imagine that, selfish and disinterested. That could be a lot of fun for a con game. Selfish and disinterested. Let's see what's next here. All right, so the next step was to note level 1 class features. And I'm not going to go into detail what the features are, because if you're rolling a character, rolling along, and just trying to figure out how the heck to get started, what you're going to do is your character class may be different. You may not choose Barbarian. So this isn't how to play the game. This is just kind of how to roll a character and rolling a character with me, because this is my first time. So at level 1, the Barbarian gets Rage. I put page 51. They get Unarmored Defense, which is another feature at level 1. I've noted that, page 51. And then they get Weapon Mastery properties in 2. I've chose great axe and hand axe to be able to unlock the weapon mastery. Now, as I understand, the weapon mastery is a little different here. I'll look into all that. I'm just getting everything on the character sheet. Then we'll look into the specific rules and things. So to note, level 1 barbarian gets rage, unarmored defense, and a weapon mastery abilities, or I guess weapon mastery can utilize them for 2 types of weapons, a great axe and hand axe. That's my understanding. I'll read further into that, but so far here's what we got. We got most of everything on here. Barbarian isn't multi-class, so it doesn't have any spells or any magic. So let's go on and end up filling in the rest of this stuff and probably finishing up soon, guys. So yeah, let's look and see what's next. All right, so a barbarian's hit dice is 12. The hit die is 12. Let's see, 1d12. 1d12. But your starting is 12 plus your con modifier. So I had 12 plus 2, that's 14. And then I had plus 3 because of the feat and wherever I got that. That's why I noted that at that point. So now we can erase that plus 3. That gives us a total of 17 with a 17 max currently. After that, it'll be 1. Max will raise 1 per level due to the, if I remember correctly, it was from the tough feat. I could be wrong about that, but yeah. So maximum HP 17, currently 17. You start with max, which was 12 plus the con modifier. Then I had the feat. So that we got 17 HP to start with. All right, looks like we're wrapping up, guys. I wanted to do the hit point dice. We have 1d12 hit dice here. Initiative, they wanted us to record, obviously, our dexterity modifier here, which is a +1. Armor class without armor, and I am not wearing armor because the unarmored defense, I'm going to use that. It's 10 plus dexterity modifier, so that's 10 plus 1, 11 base. As far as the attacks go, it says to add, of course, melee attacks equals strength modifier plus proficiency bonus. So the melee attack with my great axe is going to be 2 hit. It's going to be a d20 plus 6. The way I got that was 4 plus 4, and where's proficiency on here? Plus 2, so a total of plus 6. And then I have to look up what damage great axe does. Can't remember. Is it a d8 plus whatever? Let me look at that. That way I can get it filled in. Also, let's see, what else did I just fill in? Armor class we talked about. Hit points we talked about. Oh, passive perception. I have no wisdom modifier, so it's just my wisdom score. Passive perception's 10. He's not very perceptive. He's a dwarven, probably loud and obnoxious. But yeah, this is pretty much everything. All we would have to do, of course, I didn't go in and talk about the backstory or anything, and I haven't named the character. The cool thing is, if you've made it this far, I want to thank you. Also, thank you for all of the likes, engagements, subs, comments. Everything's been so awesome, man. I can't thank you guys enough. I've just recently started back making videos. It's been a lot of fun. It's actually motivated me to get down here and roll up this character. I'm going to let you guys name this character for MythicCon Charlotte. So if you've made it this far, you can let me know by naming this character. Thank you. Very much appreciated. You guys start posting some names in there, and I'll choose one from the comments. So I think I got everything right. You seasoned D&D players and DMs. I'm an aspiring DM myself. Like I said, I run a little bit for my kids, 2014 D&D, but we're very simple. We're very rules light, rule of cool, and go from there. So I just wanted to thank everyone, man. This is awesome. I've had a lot of fun doing this tonight. I'll go through and study up on to see if Rage is the same as it was in 2014, 5th edition. Unarmed defense seemed to be the same. And then the weapon masteries, I know there's some new stuff. So that's what we got, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This has been so much fun. So yeah, we hope to do more of this stuff soon. Take care. See you later. Hope your rolls are high. Thanks again. Later.